Hello everyone, this is Archive12, and today we have a Garten of BanBan song called Colors from Lantern Hollow, which if you know who this is, then great. If you don't, this is Divide Music. This is Divide Music's second channel, where he kind of messes around with a whole bunch of different things. This is the second track, I think, in as many weeks that we've gotten after going almost 3 months without getting a song from him. All three of these songs have been fantastic, I can't say that about the Garten of BanBan song, but it's Divide Music. We know it's going to be fantastic. But the Whistle, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish song, and Amanda Adventure song were they were just great. They were just great. I was going to say off the hook, but I don't know. I'm not that hip. I don't think I can really pull that off. But they were great. Go listen to these. I loved both of these songs. I'm fairly certain I'm going to like the Garten of BanBan song. So we're going to get right into that. You know what to do, though. Link will be in the description below if you want to watch this without my commentary, because I will be pausing. I will be talking about it. So go support Lantern Hollow and Divide Music. Links will be down there to go subscribe to their channels. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started.
Following the trail, I can walk away. Harrowing betrayal, I just wanna play. Clawing at that veil, don't want me to stay. The colors seem so bright, but the shadows fill the night. I've been looking for someone. Why they go and run? I was told that this place was safe and there's nothing more. But the truth gets healing and the heartless feeling I can't ignore. Wanna say the true. Better cause I feel. Want to feel more to the wall, pulling down below. Wanna say the true. We're on the loop. Don't have a clue.
I like how playful this song is. I like how, one thing that I've really enjoyed about the 3 songs that Divide has released on this channel so far has been, like Fable on his Fable, I keep wanting to say Fable After Dark, Fable After Hours channel, is that I feel like both of them are using these channels just to experiment as well as just to mess around and have fun. And I love that for a couple different reasons, because one, like when you listen to a Divide Music song on his main channel, like his anime songs, you kind of expect certain things. But with Lantern Hollow, you never know what you're going to get. Like with Divide Music, he has established himself as primarily the hard rock, soft rock, heavy metal with occasional pop sound to his songs. Like that's just the vibe that you get when you listen to a Divide Music song. Doesn't matter what character you're listening to, it's usually, not always, but usually going to fall into one of those 4 categories. But with Lantern Hollow, he's trying new things. It's more experimental. He's definitely putting a little bit more rapping into this, a little bit more hip hop. He's got a little bit more of a synthy vibe to it. He's got a little bit more of just about everything that he wouldn't normally put in an anime song. He's putting here, and it's creating a completely unique experience that you can very clearly tell it is Divide Music, but it's Divide Music with a twist, and I really enjoy that. This song is a spectacular example with that, as is honestly all 3 of the songs now on here. Like this one, the Amanda the Adventurer song that we got last week, and the Whistle song that we got 3 months ago. All of them very unique, very interesting sounding songs coming from Divide, and I love it. It makes this musical experience so much more fun, because like with the Divide songs, you know what you have a decent idea. I'm not going to say but you got a decent idea of exactly what you might expect from those songs. And from here, it's a complete surprise. And they're short songs, which means that like it doesn't take very long for him to create them, but they're still extremely high quality. They're just a different style, and I love that.
Following the trail, I can walk away, following the trail, I just wanna play, clawing at the veil, don't want me to stay, the colors seem so bright, but the shadows fill the night, can you hear faint whispers in the dark, hear me, we're watching where you are, can you hear faint whispers in the dark, hear me, we're watching where you are. I've been counting the colors bleeding on the wall in my heart still beating. Playful lies were to get this feeling. They follow me wherever I go. Know that we were born mad, not a place in the world we could go back to. The first half wasn't all bad, but the chase from the start to the end needs a call back. Following the trail, I can walk away, following the trail, I just wanna play, clawing at the veil, don't want me to stay, the colors seem so bright, but the shadows fill the night, can you hear faint whispers in the dark, hear me, we're watching where you are, can you hear faint whispers in the dark, hear me, we're watching where you are.
I like how all the colors line up with the letters and the monsters behind them. The other thing that I was thinking about while I was listening to this, I think one of the reasons why this song feels so interesting and why all the songs from Lantern Hollow feel so interesting so far is that Divide is really focusing on the idea of, like, I guess using the theme of the video game that he's talking about as the primary focus for the song. Where with and what I mean by that is, like, with the anime characters, like the anime that he is usually singing about are so vast. There's so many things going on that, like, you kind of have to focus on the character or like relate the song to the character in order for it to really make sense. Like, trying to do a full One Piece song is incredibly difficult, especially if it's not a cipher. Same thing with like Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super. Same thing with pretty much any anime, really. There's just so many characters. There's so much going on. Trying to rap about or sing about the theme of the anime is incredibly difficult. With the games, however, for the most part, at least with the two games that he's covered so far, there are very minimal characters. It's a very interesting story told through the eyes and lenses and narratives of only a couple characters. And that lends to a different creative process, because now, instead of having to focus on one character, you can focus on the entire story. And I feel like that's one reason why there's such a rift, a divide, if you will, pun intended, between video game nerdcore and anime nerdcore. Now, I'm not saying that video game nerdcore can't be like that. Like, they certainly can be very character focused, but usually those are for like the bigger name games. Like when Dan Bull did Horizon, what is it? The Horizon Zero Dawn song, or maybe it was the second one. I don't remember, but like that song was almost exclusively focused around Aloy's journey. Whereas when you focus on these smaller indie games, like, you can focus on an individual character, but there's not a whole lot of lore to really base it around. So you're going to have to base it around the character's personality. When Fable did the Five Nights at Freddy's song, it was almost exclusively about Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and it was focused exclusively around the concept of the story that happened for FNAF 1 being told from the story, from the perspective of all of the characters. But it was still about the story, not necessarily the characters themselves. Whereas when you listen to his, like, the Yuta song that I just reacted to, from Jujutsu Kaisen, you get a more narrowed and focused storytelling aspect, because instead of focusing on the entire story of Jujutsu Kaisen or the entire story of like the act that Yuta is from, it's focused on Yuta specifically. So like when you've got a larger narrative and you can't focus on the entire story, like obviously it's going to cause a different feel, a different vibe with the writing and the storytelling in the song. And I think that's the biggest reason why Lantern Hollow feels so different from many of the songs that Divide has done over on the anime channel. Even Whistle felt more like a normal Divide song in terms of the storytelling and writing aspect, because it's focused on death, focused on the character death. But with Amanda the Adventurer and with this song here, the Garten of BanBan song, it's focused on the game's narrative. So if you listen to the songs, even though they've got a similar style, the storytelling is different, and so therefore the vibe is different. And I like that. I like the fact that both Fable and Divide are using their second channels to experiment more with like the broader narratives of these smaller games, and using the minimal details that we get to really craft excellent songs that feel completely different from what they normally do. I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that I want them to stop either version. I want them to continue on with both of these channels because I see so much potential for both of their second channels. But I think that's the reason why the storytelling for these two songs specifically, and then the game songs that Fable has done, feels so different from their normal anime songs. Hopefully that it made sense. Long story short, TLDR, this was a fantastic song, and I cannot wait to see what else Divide has cooking for Lantern Hollow, because I'm really enjoying these story narrative songs. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you for joining me. I am Arkoff12, and I will see you in the next video.